And yes, it is that time of the morning where we also capture this live on our Facebook and YouTube channel. So you can go and watch it afterwards or share it with friends and family afterwards. Nico, thank you so much for joining us in studio this Thursday morning.
Good morning to you and also to the listeners. I thought of calling this A Tale of Two Banks. And this is because I tell stories, and of course, Dickens told the story of A Tale of Two Cities. Well, bank number one, and I had to visit this on Saturday. So, bank number one, you get to the front, you tell them you need to see a consultant, they give you a ticket, you go and sit down in the lounge area, and you wait for your number to be called. Saturday, busy time, I waited 20 minutes. And then the young lady came forward, called me. She sat down with me, took my fingerprint, checked the cameras, did everything she had to do. And 7 minutes later, she'd solved my problem. And I walked out feeling fairly happy with life. Then I went to bank number two. Now, bank number two was a lot bigger, the branch. And again, they took my details. They handed me a ticket, and I was asked to wait for 30 minutes, which was fine. A very helpful young person came up. And for me, everybody is younger than what I am. I'm always the grandfather in the room anyway. So he came and he had to try and explain to me why that particular bank had cancelled one of my cards without my permission. And he couldn't work out why either. And because of the systems that they use, he had to go online and to try and recreate that particular card, which he was able to do. It took 5-6 minutes. And he said, don't worry, we've done it. We've done it without cost because we didn't have your permission to cancel the card. And you will get a WhatsApp from us, and then you can either get the card delivered and it'll be at our cost. Tuesday came and nothing had happened. I went online and it was obvious that there had been a system failure. So then I had no choice but to do the dreaded online get some help. And the process is you log in, you identify yourself, and you explain what you want, and then the AI reads the message and allocates you to agent number one. Agent number one comes on and says, hi, my name is, I'm working under supervision. Let me read the message and allocate you to the correct department. Now, visually, you're in the lounge area, and this person has to send you to another agent, which is going to fix your problem. So I was then sent to agent number two. Starts off by saying, I need to read your messages so that I can solve your problem. Number two says, no, you're in the wrong room. I'm going to send you to number three. Number three, welcome. I need to read your messages and see how I can solve your problem. No, wrong room again. Oh. Number three sends me to number four. Reads my messages. Guess what number four says?
Wrong one.
Wrong room. I'm going to send you to number five, who says, I'm going to send you to number six.
Oh, my head.
To number seven, to number 8, to number 9, to number 10. By now, I say to number 10, look, let's stop. I want you to imagine that I'm your grandfather. Are you going to send your grandfather to room number 11? And she says, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to telephone you. I'm going to break the rules. I'm going to telephone you. And then together we're going to talk through how to fix this. So she phoned me and we spent an hour trying to fix the problem. And then she said, you know what? You're right. The system is broken. We are going to have to fix it another way. So that was my experience with bank number 2. Now, I hold shares in both banks. Bank number 1, their turnover grew by 30%. Bank number 2, their turnover grew by a third, of that of bank number one. Now, the problem isn't that bank number two doesn't want to help me. There is a concept in business called silos. Silos are these huge things you find along the side of a country road. It's these huge towers. And once you're in the tower, you can only see what is in the tower. You can't fix anything that is not in the tower. And that is the problem. Now we employ these call centers, and they can only fix what is in the tower. Bank number one has found a way of letting the consultant jump from one tower to another. Bank number two, you've got to be physically moved to the other tower. That means they cannot fix the problem. That means their cost structure goes higher. That means their staff have higher turnover because people get angry by the time they've spoken to 10 people. So they need to get their whole design fixed. And I do not understand why in today's technology, people, particularly large organizations, still don't understand that if your processes haven't kept up with the new technologies, you're going to lose clients because you're going to create unnecessary stress. And the chances are that you're not going to keep up with regulations anyway. So for those of you who have complained to me over the years saying, it seems like nobody wants to help me, it's not that they don't want to help you. It's that the way the companies have put their structures together, they have created an impossible problem. And you are the victim of those problems.
Yeah.
And therefore, until we end up dealing with this in a different way when we make our complaints, ideally what they need to do is to take this story to look at what went wrong and how do they then avoid it, because it is a systemic problem. You have the same problem when you try and deal with SARS. You end up talking to 5 different people. Each one has a different interpretation. And if one of them makes a mistake, your problem now becomes stretched out. And unfortunately, we are now the victim.
Yeah.
So the solution, I'm not sure where the solution lies, but I do understand what the problem is. And unfortunately, the public are going to remain the victims of these systemic, badly designed structures.
Sure.
I can't even say have a good day.
Truly a tale of two banks. Thank you, Nico. And I often have also thought, like, do the CEOs and the top people, do they ever phone and experience what we as regular individuals experience? I mean, that would surely then change the way that they do this and train their people and so forth. Thank you very much. And we do hope that these banks are going to take it seriously and that everybody's going to increase and improve their customer service. Thank you, Mr. Nico.
Thank you.